you love him. From CJ Entis, this is herO.
And in the top right, we have one of the foreign hopes. Can he make it through? Spawning as a red Zerg. It's Liquid Snute.
Probably one of the best foreigners in the entire world, if not the best foreigner in the entire world right now.
Oh, he's on fire.
It's a real honor for us to be able to cast him. So, I mean, we thought that we'd be sitting around playing like adventure games this Friday night, and all of a sudden, Carmack just says, "Hey, would you like to do some open bracket for IEM?" And I just about flipped my desk with how hurried I was responding. Yes, 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 yes. Please give me games. Very, very excited. We haven't cast anything since July.
Yeah, sad times, man. We didn't get to cast enough.
We've just been like, since Steph got a job and does uni as well as work, and I work full time. We've really found it hard to do casts. Just real talk for the two of us outside of IEM. Yeah. So we're sorry if people do it. For the people like the three of you out there that enjoy our casts on a regular basis. So the rest of you just continue as business as normal. You won't be seeing us too often, but we wish it was every weekend. We wish it was every day, but unfortunately, that's not the case. Pull first here from Lennox. Sorry, Snute. I keep doing this. Fuck. It's too much Lagavulin. I blame it. I blame the whiskey. Yeah. I'm normally better than this.
Whiskey makes it fun. And a gateway expand from herO. So nothing out of the ordinary. For once, I mean, we've had early pulls, we've had quick goals. It's kind of nice to see it settled down for the early game here. I mean, we could still have Snute go for the gold base, but it looks like he's set on taking that natural as normal rather than going for the quick gold again. And I mean, once you've used up that strategy against this guy already, I think Snute might have actually planned this really, really well, because you mentioned he played long games in the last series, and now he's changed it up completely in the first game of this series, going, I know more than just that. I can play a short game. I can be cheesy, and I can all in too. So you've got to watch it. And I wonder if when herO practiced for this tournament, if he's practicing specifically for certain players like Snute, going, okay, this guy's a threat, or if he's just playing generally and trying to solidify all his matchups and preparing for anything.
I believe the latter. Like, I don't think that I mean, as amazing as herO is, I think herO knows he's good. He's a Kesper Protoss. He's a CJ Entis player. He's the best CJ Entis player. And he's not afraid of a Norwegian Zerg. He's not afraid of foreigners. I wouldn't be surprised at all if he's just sort of like, I'll just keep my practice up, I'll keep my PvZ practice up, and I'll just do my solid stuff. He probably doesn't have an EU account, probably doesn't play on EU. The ping to EU is not very good. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he's just kind of, if Snute sort of has that preparation edge over herO here. It's sort of showing. We're in a position where this Norwegian Zerg, although being the best, probably the foreigner in the whole world right now, is one game away from eliminating someone who is probably the favorite for the whole tournament in the open bracket.
And it's going to be quite an upset. I mean, Snute is great, don't get me wrong. It's going to be an upset if herO gets killed by Snute here, though, because the guy is just so great. You would just kind of favor him anyway, but he is going to perk up at that third. He's got a Zealot and a Pro working on it already.
Yeah, and this is all you need. Just a few units here, and one of them even being a probe after dropping a, going out across the map for a scout. So really, just a bit of harassment. Always worth sending the Mothership Core along. All you ladder Protoss watching the stream right now, don't be ashamed of sending your Mothership Core out across the map to do some damage on a third hatchery. She will always get something done.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, Snute's already had to make 10 lings this game. I mean, he made the standard amount in the beginning, but then he had to make more to deal with this, make sure he doesn't lose his third. And there's even a proxy pylon coming up here. There's 3 gates finishing up now, 2 with the warp gate coming in, so he can continue to pressure. And Snute, he has recognized this. He's pumping out more lings right away. Speed is still ways off, though, so he's going to use these queens to help him defend. Is it going to be enough, though? That's a big question.
Yeah, it's really good to watch you play out here. That the hatchery is about halfway down. 3 queens with all these lings going to make things very, very hairy here. Oh, the Mothership Core does have to drop that time warp to get out of there alive. She was a couple hits away from death there.
Yeah. Snute, a bit of a supply block for a while here, which is a bit unfortunate when you're trying to defend against this. But here he's not committing too much to this. He's going, okay, 4 queens and a bunch of lings. No way I'm going to be able to do anything against that. And in fact, Snute is continuing to make a bunch more lings on top of this. So I wonder if he wants to try and kill him here, because surely he's identified at this point that he's got more than enough to take this out.
These Zealots are in trouble, Zeph. That's a lot of links here, and down they go. Just the slow links doing damage here. Fenner would be so proud. The speed just finished now, and they are heading across the map to get some damage done. Into the natural. There's just a few sentries here, but it should be enough to lock it down tight.
Yeah, for sure. And these links can basically run around, clean up the proxy pile, look for any more probes, and then deny any potential third coming out from here, who as of yet hasn't really dumped any tech. He's just sitting on his gateways for the moment, has got the gas and the natural, so he's going to have plenty of stuff available to him with the +1 coming up. I mean, he could dump a bunch more gateways and go for another attack, but I feel like, considering he doesn't really have much else, could be a third here, especially with that blink. Twilight Council coming up.
Yeah. It's looking a bit like that. He wants to go for that expand. The Overlord's just confirming that as well. Snute taking down these rocks to get that, a bit of that quicker sort of reinforcement path. And yeah, he definitely wants that, so down it goes. Just going to keep up with the Sentry and the Stalker. The +1 upgrades going down for herO, heading into Macro Town with that Twilight Council. Into Tier 2 Town, as I like to call it. +1 on the way for Snute, so he's not afraid of the late game either. Wouldn't be surprised to see Swarm Host transition reasonably shortly here as that Lair and +1 goes down. We haven't seen too much else from Snute just yet. Yeah,
Snute looking pretty standard right now. It's going to be probably looking towards taking a 4th base in not too long once he identifies that 3rd is coming down from herO. And it would be really nice if he could turn that Overlord that's near the main into an Overseer and get in there and actually have a look. Because if he sees that Twilight Council, he might suddenly go, ooh, I'm actually in danger of a 3-base +2 blink coming at me. So he really needs to prepare for that.
He's going to go Link Hydra here, and this is a great decision. Another great option for the Zerg to go and do this. I mean, going Swarm Host is your prerogative. You can do it or you can not do it. It doesn't mean it's more effective or less effective. It's just whatever you're comfortable with. But Ling and Hydra is so good against the army that we're seeing of herO. We saw it be effective against Huck from Lenok as well. That those Hydralists just really love a gateway-heavy Protoss. They really do. Blink on the way, though, with herO will help, and he does have +2 on the way, so these Hydras are a little bit late in the last game, but that said, though, he's looking pretty tight. I would say that Snute is in a pretty good spot right now, definitely ahead.
Yeah, Link Hydra is just such a great composition. It's fantastic against Stargate openers, especially when the Protoss tries to take a really greedy 3rd off of it. But at the same time, gateway units against Hydra, this is never a good mix, and he does have to be so careful. He's right out on creep here. He might have to recall if there's too many units out with these extra Hydras coming in and the +1.
Yeah, he's just taking it easy here with his army. Just doesn't want to rest on creep. That would be a silly, silly, silly move. Infestation Pit on the way here for Snute, so we'll see what happens there. Blink just about to finish here. He's hallucinating a couple Stalkers. This is interesting. A couple Stalkers just being hallucinated, heading on the creep, heading into that 3rd to get a gauge of what the army looks like. And so the Roaches and the Hydras and the Lynx here. And he does just recall, just heads back home. Doesn't want none of that.
That +2 timing is shaping up nice and good here for herO. He's heading out across the map, setting up a few preliminary pylons. The creep is actually so far out that he doesn't really have a chance to put them any closer. But an aggressive blink will perhaps
+2. It's a lot of +2 blink Stalkers, Zeph, and they don't mind engaging Hydralisks if they have good blinks. Especially with sentries with the Guardian Shield and Force Fields as well. This is actually a very scary army from herO here. Snute will have to worry about this.
Yeah, and getting rid of that 3rd's actually not so bad because he can pump the rest of that into even more Hydras. He's already got 15 out on the map with another 10 coming in. That's going to help out a lot against this army, but is he going to get the position he needs? Pulling drones already.
That's never a good sign. Force fields are gone down here. The Mothership Core does get taken out, but it doesn't look like herO cares. He feels like he has enough to get the job down here. Offensive blink on the left-hand side of this flank of Snute as the Hydralists start to evaporate to this Protoss army. Very heavily upgraded. They're targeting down a hallucinated Colossus, and it looks like the Stalkers are just going to seal the deal here for herO as he just keeps pressuring. Overlord's going down. Doesn't matter, he has plenty of supply cap, but the drones pulled again. More drones going down. The blinks strong for herO. This timing, these upgrades, probably more so the fact that he's winning here as he pressures into this natural. The Queen's dying. Everything hatching out of this natural, going to hell, and GG.
GG. Wow. herO does even end up. 1-1 it is, and that was pretty clean and simple from herO, really. I mean, +2, 3 base. It's a really nice strategy.
+2 blink is as old as the heroes, as the hills. Sorry, not the heroes.
Yeah,
it's a very, very vintage build from Wings Liberty, really, against Zerg, but it's on 3 base in this case, so adapted slightly and so effective from herO. No doubt he's done it before many, many times. It's just
Yeah,
really,
that was.
I mean, the blink control was good, but it was really just the fact that he hit that timing with a +2, and there was only Lings and Hydras to deal with that really just won it for him.
I really liked where he pushed as well because it was between the third and the natural. So already he's sitting in between two rally points for the Zerg. So the reinforcing units, and I mean, Snute was still trying to produce units to hold off the first wave of the push when that came in. So he's suddenly got units coming from two sides, and there's force fields going down this side, and this side dies. So it was just very nicely done from here. Not much else we can say about that one. Nimbus. Going to be map number 3, the final map between these guys.
Right, the final battlefield between these two. The winner will go on to the round of 16. The loser will have to watch from the bleachers. Really, really big shame to see either of these players go out. But I mean, it was the same with the last best of 3 we cast with Huck and Lenok. We don't want to see the players go, but it's a game of StarCraft. There could be only one, as Highlander and StarCraft will teach you. Shout out to TA, Terra Australis chat. It's not a dead clan. They're watching right now and enjoying the games.
Woo.
Much to you guys.
They're my favorites, those guys. I actually ran into Rossi the other day when I was on my lunch break.
Sweet.
Very good to see that guy. For those of you that don't know the C scene, Rossi was one of our best Terrans who sadly retired. Many tears.
I don't believe in retirement.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, so we got, oops, I thought we went without takes guy, but no, we do have him. Sweet. All right. So Nimbus in PvZ, not really a very good swarm host map off the bat, so we'll have to see what Snute has planned for this map. That said, though, when they did play on this map in the winners bracket, he did go swarms anyway. So, yeah, it's really hard to predict here. We're just going to have to let this game unfold. These guys are so much infinitely better at StarCraft than we are, so we'll let them speak to us through the beautiful dance that is StarCraft 2. In the top left here, from CJ Entis, my favorite Protoss in the whole world. Make some noise in the chat, in all caps, for herO.
And on the other hand, if you like this guy in the bottom right-hand corner, spawning as a blue Zerg, you better put your own all caps, your emoticons, whatever else you have for this guy. He's going to need it.
Hashtag all caps.
It's Liquid Snute.
I can't even hear myself over the roar of Twitch chat right now.
It's deafening. It's huge. Deafening. Come on, guys. You can do better than that. Wow.
All caps is cruise. We all know this.
Man. Chat needs to liven up. But seriously, guys, let us know who you actually think is going to win. Don't just tell us who you're cheering for. I mean, we always like to know what you guys think because, I mean, I, at this point, don't think I can pick who would win. I mean, I feel like herO will always be slightly favored, but given the fact that Snoot's been doing so well, he 2-1'd him last time, and he's also very versatile, anything could happen.
Yeah. I actually feel Snoot's favored here. Just he won that last best of 3, and, I mean, someone in chat, I'm sorry, sir, for forgetting your name. I will give you a shout-out if you mention it again. I am keeping an eye on chat for the most part. There are a lot of you, so sorry if I miss anything. But someone did mention that, forgot about it, embarrassingly enough, that Snute was actually living in the CJ house for a while. He knows herO very well.
That's a good point.
Yeah, so that's definitely something not to be ignored here. Normally, herO is someone that would have no problem with dealing with any foreigner. But Snute, not only the best foreigner, arguably, right now, he also knows herO very well. So not surprising at all to see that 2-1 after all in that winners bracket. And wouldn't be surprised to see another 2-1 here in favor of the Norwegian Zerg.
Yeah. Well, let's see what happens. Probe coming in for the scout now. Snute, because it's a big map, has gone for the hatch first, followed by a gas and pull. Interestingly, he has taken the more forward base rather than taking the in-base natural. But that's, given that he's going for the speed, he's going to be taking a later third, and that's going to be easier for him to hold later on.
So does this mean that just like game 1, Snoot's going to go for that really, really aggressive timing again? Does it mean SF?
It's a possibility, but it's just such a long map, and herO has a really nice position to defend from. Yeah,
and it's not kind of like expanding towards your opponent like it is on the first map. So
yeah, I think the other thing is that on Foxtrot, you have the wider natural opening, so when those units came, he actually wasn't finished with a wall. He had, a pylon on one side and a pylon on the other side as part of the wall with the two gateways in the middle, and there still was a gap where he had to fill it with a force field. So, not an optimal strategy for this map, I think.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're quite right. As you do have the biggest and sexiest brain of us of the duo, we'll have to just listen to your counsel. We do have the Nexus up in here. We did go Nexus first, as one would imagine, on Nimbus. Nimbus is one of those maps, I don't veto any maps when I play on ladder. I actually don't have any maps that I dislike enough to veto forever. I mean, even Foxtrot with that gold, where it's really hard to hold that gold, and this map as well, very, very, it's blinkable, very blinkable, something that I always suffer against as a Terran player. I just feel like this is a really good ladder pool, and I really do. I don't really have a handle on this map just yet, but I do enjoy it though. I like to learn on this map. I'm not having a horrible time feeling like glaring and balance on it. Is what I'm trying to say. Stargate opening here from herO.
Yeah, I think this is one of the maps I've vetoed. I haven't played it in a while, so I probably vetoed it. But it's. I mean, I don't mind it. I just kind of get sick of playing some maps when they come up. Like, I'm thinking vetoing Catalina for that reason, just because I play it so much. But I think, playing all the maps certainly has a lot of merit, and I think that's one thing that's obviously going to benefit these players, because I doubt that they bother to really veto too many maps, considering that you never know what you're going to be playing on in a tournament. So yeah, let's see if this Stargate's able to do anything. Oracle opener once again will be able to let him take a quicker third if he wants to. An alternative is dropping an extra couple of gateways and going for a gateway pressure behind it, especially since he's getting the +1. But we'll see what he wants to do.
So there's that vintage Oracle coming out of that Stargate. The Overlord is directly over it, so he's perfectly aware of the... whoa! Overlord kicking in the nice. Nice quick Overlord speed upgrade there.
Yeah, not something you see all that often, actually. Not in ZvP. We see it in ZvT a bit more. But if you don't have your Overlords in position, it's kind of a nice thing.
Indeed. Spores down here. Just in time here for Snute. Should be fine against these Oracles. That said, though, it is an Oracle. It's guaranteed at least 3 or 4 kills. So we'll just have to wait and see. Void Rays to be the follow-up here, so he is feeling some roaches from our Norwegian friend. This is interesting, getting that Overlord speed. We touched on it a little bit earlier, but yeah. Good decision for the larger map, I suppose. But not many Zergs would want to put that extra 100 gas into this upgrade earlier on.
Yeah, true. But considering, I guess, that the Protoss would have done that fast expand and take a third, because the third's not too bad to hold on this map, you can pretty comfortably go for that. And he's trying to see what exactly is coming out. And I actually like this, because there's so much room for him to hide tech in these bases. There's a little place.
This is going to be Swarm Host here from Snute. We're still in the Infestation Pit coming down this time with the +1 range. Unlike the last game, he is in a much better position to be able to sort of get that on with the Overlord speed as well. Mentioned by a wonderful new mod in the chat, Petrify in the chat, that this is a defensive style to go for that extra scout. And with Snute's history, there's the Locust upgrade. Swarm Host confirmed. 2 on the way now for Snute. So... get comfortable, guys. Get that pumpcorn. We got our Swarm Host game getting out here. No doubt static defense to follow soon.
Yep. This might be a bit of a longer one. And I'm not too surprised to see Swarm Host on this one, I think. Because what have we seen from Snute so far? Obviously, we've seen an all-in. We've seen Ling Hydra, which would have been the other option, I think, considering that he opened Stargate, but... perhaps, actually, the positioning wouldn't be too bad if he came for a Ling Hydra attack, but I just feel like herO would be pretty comfortable defending this kind of thing. And he knows about the Swarm Host now, so he's better prepare for that. It's not going to be long before there's speed overlords dropping creep. Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised that there are 3,000 of you right now who are Snute fans watching this game because you love Swarm Host and you want to see the Norwegian Swarm Host action. This EU ladder action unfolding right before your very eyes. So we'll be seeing herO probably... he's not going heavy into air like he did last couple times he went against the Swarm Host style. He still only has the 1 Stargate. And looking like with the Zealot charge and with the ground upgrades on another Robo, he wants to try and favor sort of like maybe the Zealot Templar Colossus sort of bowl for the splash damage.
Yeah, that's kind of what Protoss end up with in the late game these days. The massive death ball. It's so scary to engage, and that's when we start seeing those Vipers come into play more and more, trying to just pick bits of it apart because there's just actually no way you can engage it on its own. And these Voidos actually by themselves are pretty deadly. These can swoop in if there's no static defense, and luckily Snute is setting up a lot of it. They can swoop in and actually snipe hatcheries so quickly. It's pretty scary, and especially since he's pushing at the same time. This is actually really smart from herO. Don't think it's gonna work. Although actually, these spore crawlers are dying really quickly. Oh.
Yeah, these Void Rays are actually going to get a bit of damage done, I feel, Zeph. And he's winning another fight in the middle with against these Lings. Obviously, Ling's not going to be too much of an issue. Another Queen coming to help her sister out with a bit of a transfuse there, shooing away this Void Rays for now. But he'll have to relay that static defense pretty soon. The static D, so important when you're going for Swarm Host style.
That was actually a little scary for a moment there. I thought surely having two spores and a third one coming out would be enough. No, Void Rays pretty good.
The Maynard calls are real. We're going to have Templar tech. We do have the Storms on the way here.
Very nice, yeah. He's going to need all the splash he can get, especially since Snute doesn't just go Swarm Host, he goes Swarm Host.
Yeah, we mentioned it earlier in the chat. I mean, earlier in the stream, for you guys that missed it, we have seen, well, I have seen the VODs, I don't know about Zeph, but of Snute versus herO. He went Swarm Host in 3 games against herO. It was a 2-hour series, just over 2 hours series, all in total. And herO just really got a little bit tilted by the Swarm Host style. He just doesn't really know how to deal with it. That said, though, it did end up being a 2-1. herO's incredible play. Did manage to get stuff done. And this is how he got into those games. He did stuff like Zealot run-bys with charge, multiple harassment with Warp Prisms, taking out hatcheries left, right, and center. Beautiful play from herO so far. 1 hatchery down already. And this hatchery in trouble. Not enough defense here.
This is exactly how you have to play against Swarm Host. herO is playing this beautifully. Zealot harass in 3 bases at once. At the same time, he's taking a 4th, getting more tech. He's harassing with the Void Rays. This is actually insane. These Void Rays will finally get picked off, but there's still a lot of Zealots out here as well. Swarm Host kind of struggling to get separated enough to defend against the rest of the harass. I mean, this is exactly what you need to do because the Zerg is just not mobile enough. Yeah,
Swarm Hosts are the least mobile thing that Zerg can possibly do, other than, you know, I guess even Ultralisks are more mobile.
Yeah. They're just kind of clunky, but they're fast enough, you know, they can actually get around to places to deal with this. And, I mean, Snute doesn't really even have anything out to whereby he can try and clean up these proxy pylons or get rid of that Warp Prism, get rid of those couple of Void Rays hang out in the airspace. So he's really kind of stuck with what he has.
He hasn't actually... Snoot's lost a hatchery, but he hasn't lost that many units. He's losing a couple Swarm Hosts here at the front, but don't worry about that. He's got 19 more where that came from. It's not a big deal. And herO is... Oh, these Swarm drops so nice. Taking out some drones here. So delicious. Sick.
Man, that's one of my favorite things in StarCraft, I have to say. Swarm drops. Swarm drops. Oh my god. I can't cast.
Storm Hosts.
Yes, Storm Hosts. Oh, damn it, I'm going to call them that now.
The multi-pronged harassment is actually the way to go. You're absolutely right. But Snute still has a bit of a unit lead here. He's got a nice, healthy economy still with all these hatcheries. He's on 4 hatcheries, gearing up for a 5th. Zealot's looking down to take out, but there is a lot more static defense here from Snute. He's prepared against what herO's got in store here. He knows how to lose. He knows how to lose this game, and he knows how to win this style of game as well. So
yeah. He's finally starting to stabilize here, and the more static defense he's able to get up, the more Swarm Host he's able to spread out, the less damage that herO is really going to be able to do here. But there's always holes, I mean...
this warp in.
This is...
this warp in. This hatchery is dead!
No way he can save that unless he's got some sick transfuse at the last minute. No, he doesn't. These Zealots doing fantastic work, and there's a very comfortable 4th base up for herO behind this, don't forget. And he keeps knocking Snute back to 3 bases again and again.
Yeah, which means that like 15 to 20 odd drones are long distance mining. In the meantime, herO untouched. Have we seen a single Zerg unit onto this glorious untouched Protoss hallowed ground? No, we have not. It's just been all the action's been on creep. herO always in Snoot's face. Really starting to get a grip of how to play this matchup. A grip. He's got a grip of how to play this matchup. He's doing a good job.
Yeah, I think he's finally figured out. I mean, well, maybe not finally. I mean, he obviously knows how to deal with this, but it's tricky, and he's kind of just found the right amount of harass to keep Snute at home, keep him off his back, and that's really all you need until you can get that ball that you need. Now he's got all the splash in the world. He's got Archons, he's got Storms, he's got Colossi, and whatever else he needs, he can kind of put in ad-libs. So 5th base coming down as well, and I don't think Snoot's going to really have an opportunity to defend against that. So from here on out, it's just static defense, turtling and slowly creeping forward. I have to say his creep spread is looking fantastic for this.
Yeah, absolutely. The creep spread from Snute is insane. He's already up in the grill of herO's 4th Nexus here down the bottom, 5th Nexus on the way down the bottom as well. But he's starting to push that creep back now. A lot of damage going down. 2nd Spire going down for the double upgrades for the air. So a big transition on the way here for Snute. No doubt we're going to be seeing a lot of corruptors from him very shortly. The grabs here, the feedbacks on the Vipers. Storm's going all over the place, but he did have to lose a couple Colossus there. Oh, another Colossus nearly targeted down with a Locust.
Almost.
herO doing a bit of damage here on the static defense, but attacking into the static defense is not the way to go. That's how you get pulled into it and lose all your expensive units. So be very careful here.
Pretty decent attack timing there from herO. He got in there before that static defense got up, forced the Swarm Host back into that 4th base position, and now this has allowed him to clear up some of the creep that's heading out across the map. So he's going to be able to get rid of the majority of the active tumors here, which is really nice, especially considering how close Snoot's 4th base is to herO's 4th base. And in fact, herO's trying to claim that bottom left-hand corner, so he really wants to get rid of this area if he can.
I hope he doesn't get impatient again, or it's going to put him in a horrible spot. He has been getting impatient every single game. He does it at least once. He just gets overly aggressive, loses a lot of units to static defense. Once again, attacking into too much static defense here. herO needs to find the avenue of attack here. Oh, this pull! Getting rid of a lot of those warp pins there. I love that play. That's so sick. Viper's pulling away that warp prism, getting rid of a lot of those zealots here. That's wasted minerals for herO as he warps in. Harassment still going down the hive, though. The Queen's coming down to deal with it, and he is once again attacking into the static defense. The Viper's here in position. The Corruptor's starting to rejoin with the Overseers. Swarm Host, the Locust, joining the fight, pushing back the Zealots. But is the Hive dead? Will the Hive live? How low is it? Oh, okay, he's fine.
Okay.
Just saw it flashing on the minimap.
Yep, so, that abduct certainly saved his hive, I think. If he had gotten the full warp in, I don't think he would have been able to get there quickly enough to actually save that hive. So that was really nice. And now we've got Broodlords. If there weren't enough free units out on the map already, it's about to be a bunch more.
Yeah, this is one thing that we didn't see this in the best of 3 that Snute did against herO in the winners bracket earlier. This is a new addition to his composition. So Snute coming with something a little bit different here, and he's adjusting his Swarm Host style, not just keeping with that same old, cut and paste, cut and dry Swarm Host style. He's so good at it. He's starting to freshen it up, getting more free units. We love free units.
You really do need to transition into that too, because otherwise, oh man, that's so slash. But there's just too much. I mean, there's nothing for the Broodlords in the background. There's still a bunch of Swarm Hosts up here. Abducts going off. The Spore Crawl is actually killing the Colossi as well.
His Void Rays are old news, Zeph. All the stuff that he had to counter the Broodlords are dead. He doesn't have any Void Rays anymore. Immediately starts Tempest production. herO, though, will he be able to make enough Tempest to deal with these Broodlords? There's so many Broodlords already on the map. Sieging onto this Nexus. This Nexus is all but dead right now.
And, herO's army did take quite a blow there, lost a lot of Archons, and now he's bearing down on this 4th base. herO doesn't have enough. He just has to give it up and try and start to expand on the other side of the map, which is really smart of him, sending a bunch more Zealots down the right-hand side of the map, but Snute actually just hasn't taken any more hatcheries from here, so he's not going to be able to find too much to kill with that harass, but it's a nice idea regardless. Snute slowly starting to creep back out on the map.
Usually means dead hatchery, but he has a lot of static defense here on the far right. There is a Zealot run by. Look at all those spike crawlers. He just does not care about these Zealots whatsoever. They are +3, but looks like herO wants to keep pressuring this now with some Zealots coming in, but the Locusts are rejoining the fray. All he has to do is re-rally those Swarm Hosts, and all of a sudden, Zealot's not going to get too much done. Warp Prism here, running into a couple of these Corruptors, and Spore Prism that does live for now.
Yeah, he's trying desperately to get rid of that Warp Prism, but herO, even if he does lose it, he's just going to make another one because he knows he needs it against this sort of composition. It is very slow, it is very hard to maneuver around the map, and there we go. After many abducts, it finally goes down. A few more Corruptors coming into the mix now, though, because of those Tempests that are inevitably going to be on the way. And Snute finally looking towards that 5th base, continuing to upgrade. And
He really
yeah,
needs
we're
this, as I say, Hero really needs a mothership, like a legit mothership, not the mothership core, the poser mothership, like a real mothership.
I don't. Is there even any detection now? Yeah, there's 3 overseas. In fact, yeah, okay. As long as he has it with his army, he should be okay because with the amount of stuff.
It makes it so much easier for him to defend against stuff like this, the Broodlords, because the Broodlings can't attack things that they can't see. But that said, though, the Broodlings are getting damage done. These Zealots are going to get a hatchery here, but he is losing a lot here at his 5th Nexus.
Yeah, oh, Temp is actually getting some pretty tasty Broodlord kills there. Corruptors do come in here. It looks like they will be able to kill off one of the Tempests, but the Protoss army coming to help out. Oh, he's getting
Wants to storm these Corruptors.
Well, not quite.
Doesn't get that storm. Run, Tempest. The Templar are trying to get away from the Locust here. It's really hurt seeing such an expensive unit running from a free unit with so much energy.
Yeah,
be careful.
Poor Warp Prism got stuck in between a bunch of Spores and Queens of Force. He's finding it harder and harder to actually get some harass done. Looks like these Swarmers are going to take position near this 5th base, start knocking that down. I'm sure Snute would really like to get up towards that northward base, because then you'd put Hero in some serious financial troubles. But with this army, you know, he's got to kind of pick a position and stick to it.
And Hero's gas bank is getting a little bit lacking right now. If he loses this Nexus, he's in big trouble. Actually, it looks like a bit of a blunder here from Hero, not mining from that 2nd gas at that Nexus where the cannons are. But, oh, there he goes. He just fixed it up. So these Locusts putting a little bit of hurt for him. Zealots coming in here for a bit of a look-see, but that has so many full energy Queens, no dramas whatsoever. The main Protoss force heading across the north side here, where the creep is not so spread. Gonna try and hurt. Wants to really kill a hatchery here. That's what he really wants.
You know, he can do that.
Hatchery, but yeah.
There's only gas being mined there, and while, yeah, sure, he does need gas, he's already got a 4K bank. There's no minerals to be lost here or anything.
Committing his major force to this.
Yeah, I mean, attack wherever you can by all means. He's attacking wherever the Zerg army isn't, which is basically what he needs to do, because he's never going to be able to attack in where Snute is set up. Looks like the 5th base, unfortunately for Hero at the same time, is going down, but not to worry, he's taking another base as that happens. And he does need to be careful here. He doesn't have a mothership core, so he's kind of stuck in this position. The Vipers really should be trying to capitalize on this and taking out the Colossi or something.
Templar going down the Locust there. And this Protoss army doesn't have a mothership core, so he's sort of blocked here against it. Whoa, there we go. So Snute's actually coming in to engage this force. There's a lot of splash damage here. Plenty of Archons, but they are a little bit hurt at the front here. And the Templar is back, dying to saw the Swamp. The Broodlords doesn't want to lose this army. Oh, the Archons being pulled there. One going down.
So many expensive units are going down right now for free. He's really not losing anything. It's just Broodlords and Swarmers spitting out their stuff, and wow, I actually feel kind of bad for Hero. He's tried so hard to do damage to Snute this whole game, but look at his supply now. He's down to 150. Sure, he has more bases coming up, but he keeps losing tons and tons of expensive units.
Wow. He's trying to get the damage done by the Overseer right in spot. Plenty of spores, as you would imagine from the Swarm Host player. So many spore crawlers. The DTs aren't getting a whole lot done here, but that was a very clutch unit for Hero, as he did go on, as he won the last game against Snute on this map.
Yeah, DTs are part of the answer, but they're not the entire solution. He's still got this really scary Zerg army to deal with, and Snute's slowly consuming the map. He's just, I mean, now that he knows that Hero is expanding towards the top right, that's where he's positioning himself, because he knows if he puts pressure there, then Hero's eventually going to run out of money.
Yeah. DC's coming in here trying to get a queen. Spine Crawlers should be able to deal with the rest here. Big engagement here at this hatchery.
Oh,
the
man,
Archons so scary. The real mothership is here, and she is cloaking all the things, keeping this Protoss army largely protected for the most part.
Yeah, the Viper's out of action now too, all getting feedback there. And in fact, Snute forced to make another few Vipers out of that as well. Yeah. Oracle's actually coming back into play as well, which I like. Might be able to do some decent damage with those.
The Oracles aren't here for damage, they're here to drop Revelation. They want to get the Revelation spell on the Vipers and the Corruptors as well, because they want to keep an eye on, you know, when, am I going to get pulled? Am I going to lose all these air units immediately? So they're just here for the revelation spell. They're not here to kill things.
All right. Well, here, gaining a bit of a better position here. Forced Snute back once again. The DT is actually helping out a lot in being able to do that, I think, behind the main attack. But, oh man, he has so little money compared to Snute. It scares me so much when he starts to lose those money units, because Snute just seems to have an endless supply of bank here. The minerals is really the only front where he's suffering.
Yeah. Getting a little bit dry on the mineral front here. herO's getting a bit gas dry as well, so if he loses the big units, if there's really nice abducts here, it'll be hard for herO to replenish. That said, though, if anything dies here for Snute, like if he loses a lot of static defense, how's he going to remake it with this mineral bank? It's going to be very tough for him. He can't keep taking hatcheries if he keeps losing hatcheries either. So
yeah, hero's actually been so persistent with running around these.
He's so aggressive, and this is that style where normally being aggressive in it actually makes you lose the game because you kill yourself against this stuff. But he's getting it done somehow.
Yeah, I mean, he has lost a lot of expensive stuff, but most of it has been those zealots that have just been running around, and he has slowly been able to chip away the static defense as a result. And look here, again, he's getting rid of a bunch of spores, and Snute just isn't actually properly in position to deal with that. And with all these Tempers, my goodness.
Tempers are untouched for the most part. He's lost like 1 or 2 Tempers. He's abducting that Archon there, but the Revelation spell is on the Corruptors, and he can't split the Corruptors away from, so he knows exactly where the army is at all times. And he's just going to keep these Tempers sieging on this defense that Snute really can't keep smashing anymore.
Yeah, I mean, has he finally reached that magical composition? I think Snute might start looking a lot better again if he can get rid of that mothership, because that's spoiling a lot of his plans here. But is he going to be able to get the close? Oh my god, he does get the close viper, he does get the abduct, and finally gets rid of that. He should be able to start pushing back at least the ground army part of this, but the Tempests, they're just so well protected by these Archons.
Yeah, there's abducts happening here, but every time he abducts one Archon, he loses Broodlords and Corruptors. He's going to be very careful here. The Locust coming in here and doing a bit of damage, but there is so much goddamn splash damage here. He's not afraid of the Locust anymore. He just wants to get rid of the static defense. He wants to get to that Swarm Host line and do that damage. herO is looking so good here. He's doing that. The Tempest is doing so much damage in the sky.
The ground army is pretty much gone. Only a couple of Colossi left in there. Oh, not a couple, excuse me, there's 4. But a bunch more Corruptors coming out from Snute as he goes, wow, you actually don't have anything on the ground anymore. If I have enough Corruptors, I can try and get in here and take a bunch of those out.
Yeah. Revelation
might be a bit late, though.
Revelation has expired here, so he's being very careful. He doesn't want to lose to this big ball of Corruptors that are trying to hunt down here. They got the Oracle. Revelation is cast, but he is pushing these Tempests, and there aren't any more Archons or Templar on the ground, as Zeph mentioned. So this is a very scary chase down here, and he needs to pull back to the safety of his own static defense. Losing
he's getting so many of these. Oh, those Stalkers coming in the nick of time, but they do have to be careful about those Swarm Hosts, which are helping to push forward, push the Protoss back towards his bases. Again, trying to go inside. Is he actually going to be able to... Does he have enough transfuses?
Okay.
Oh,
no,
he's up down.
No more Vipers. But that said, though, he hasn't been killing too many of them. Stalkers rejoining the fray here. Zealots being made as well with the Mineral Bank. Just trying to get stuff done with what he has.
Yeah, Snoot's army right now is Swarm Hosts and Corruptors. He actually doesn't really have much else to deal with the ability. Yeah. I mean, look, he's making Lings now because he doesn't have that static defense that he once had. He can't really run around the map and chase after all these small pockets of gateway units, so I think that's something that he definitely needs. He hasn't even been able to touch those bases in the top right, so herO is actually looking pretty good. Sure, he's down in supply, but he's got the money now.
Yeah. That glorious shining lights coming back in.
He actually has no gas.
No, he's very low on the gas. Only just getting a bit of a mineral bank here, but he's mining off 1 hatchery, 2 hatcheries right now, and neither of them have gases at those hatcheries either. So he's only mining gas from his old hatcheries, which is starting to get very low. He really, if he wants to get his gas back up, needs to take those gases. But he's got so much on his mind right now, so much herO all over this map to deal with. Yeah.
Oh, these poor Stalkers getting surrounded a little bit by locusts.
But where do they go? Where do they go, Zeph? Back up on the high ground into the Warp Prism and home. All these three for the greater good.
Oh, they'll fight valiantly, but they will get taken out, much to Snoot's relief. It's one less thing that he has to think about. But he's running out of options here. Sure, he's maxed out, but a lot of that is lings now. He really, really needs to take those gas. I don't understand why he's not taking the extra gas, Maynard.
He needs this gas so bad, Zeph. It's just he's only human, and he's concentrating so hard on all these fronts here, the defense against this big brawl of heroes units. Snoot's really on the ropes here, and he's feeling it. His bank is almost all but gone, except for just minerals, and minerals aren't going to help him here. He's dropping 10 spore crawlers in a desperate defense against the big Tempest army here. A forward blink, very aggressive blink here from herO, but Snoot's just starting to lose ground.
Really nice pickups there from Snute with the abducts. He's actually going to chase forward. Ooh, very nice. Does get out of there before he loses too much. But worth mentioning is that 40 minutes into this game, Snute had to start droning again because he's turned so many drones into static defense and lost so many that he was actually down to 30 drones.
Yep, yeah, 61 probes on the map for herO, and he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Nexus.
Yeah,
7 Nexus. Maths is hard. Maths is English.
He's killed almost 50 drones of Snoots this game. So no wonder he didn't take that extra gas, because he needed minerals just as bad with that few drones. And oh my goodness, 15
That is a dead hatchery right there.
Yeah.
See you later, my friend. I don't care about your locusts. This hatchery, DEAD. In fact, the swarm host is going to go home as well for an extra early Christmas present for herO.
Ouch. herO is just playing so well. I mean, Snute, he's run out of options, he's run out of money, he needs to kind of win with what he has, he needs to somehow cripple the Protoss, do something to the economy, knock out the army, but how does he actually manage to do that when he's stuck defending the whole time?
Look at his back now. Oh, Snute. Poor guy. He's trying to take extra hatcheries here, he desperately wants that income again, but herO's just, even though he's down in supply, that's not what's winning him the game here. It's just being where Snute is not and doing damage. And he's been doing it all game, doing it for 40 minutes.
Another great pickup by herO, taking out yet another hatchery. And I have to say, I think maybe this map is just a little too big to play against herO with Swarm Host.
It's not an amazing Swarm Host map. I mentioned that when it's loaded up. I don't think it's very good for Swarm Host. So Snute actually lost this map against herO as well. I mean, there's so many ways for the Protoss to get at you. It's very hard to, for a unit that's so effective in a single path or 2 or 3 paths. It's too many paths, man.
I mean, despite all the stag defense, there's always been a place for herO to warp in 15 zealots at a time or to sneak some DTs by, and that's really helped him be able to knock Snoot's economy into the ground. At the end of the day, he doesn't have anything less. He needs this base. He needs the one up here where all these DTs are as well. Yeah. But in the meantime, hero's just restoring his army. He's going to come back again for another attack. Keep warping in.
Yeah.
He's looking good.
The swarm hosts are still obviously keeping Snute alive here. And I mean, if there's some bad engagements, if herO gets impatient again and loses a lot to the swarm hosts, then, at the moment, Snute, you can see it here, he's trying to get his economy back. If he gets 2 or 3 hatcheries up, starts mining from them again, a few minutes later, he'll be back in the game. Yeah,
for sure. I mean, herO doesn't know how much money Snute has. He can make an educated guess, but he doesn't know for sure if all that bank's gone or what, because, like you said, he's constantly dealing with these swarm hosts still, so Snute hasn't lost by any chance. I just feel like it's a bit of an uphill battle given how much harass hero's been able to do.
Yeah. Pushing through and taking out some creep humans here, just keeping the Zerg presence to a minimal, just doing a little bit of damage. Zealots coming in, not getting too much done. Pushing through, more creep going down. Wants to get on the Spire up here. 2 Stargates being made by herO, though. He's going to go into the Golden Armada pretty surely.
Yeah. And that's going to be pretty scary. I like all these Queens in the mix. Those will help out a lot. And they've been doing fantastic jobs at just saving bases, saving...
he must have lost some pretty intense tech here. He's remaking the spawning pool. He's making 2 spawning pools, in fact. And you know how that feels, Zeph, with a infestation pit going down as well.
Yeah, Snoot's starting to look a bit better. His money's a bit further up there now.
He has some major tech. still alive in the main, sort of just where the creep is keeping it alive. It is damaged, but it's not dead, which is the important part. Oracle's coming down for the revelation again for herO.
Yep.
And he's slowly but surely trying to push this creep back. Snute just being so patient, this insane patience that the European Zergs have. It just impresses the pants off me. If I wasn't already not wearing pants, they would be impressed off, I assured you.
Yeah, if Snute wins this game, it's going to be on the patience, which, I mean, he's well known for at this stage with this particular kind of strategy. But here he's back at the point where he has enough money to whereby he's confident to start moving out on the map again. He's okay to lose a bit because he can remake it right away. And like you said, he dropped those extra Stargates. You know, he's got so much production, he can go into whatever he wants. Even taking a base that's pretty much in Zerg territory.
The Hive only just being remade now, so Snute's had enough breathing room to try and get back up to tier 3 and get those Vipers back up again.
Yeah.
Revelation there on the ones that do already live. He hasn't lost too many units. He's been losing hatcheries, but he hasn't been losing units.
Yep. And he's got enough drones to whereby he can start trying to remake this static defense. herO desperately wants to get in there and try and take it out before he gets up. But
he's starting to be impatient again, I feel. The Storm going down here. It's just the Tempest doing damage. There's feedbacks from the Templar doing some damage as well. Spore Crawlers are now up. Whoa, the Oracles go down.
Okay, this Templar do make it home to safety in time. He would love to get an abduct on that mothership.
He's just attacking into the static defense, letting the Tempest do the work.
Yeah, as long as Vipers are aren't out, excuse me, there's nothing that Snute can do to stop this, because you can't actually get close enough without losing too much stuff to deal with it. And that said, he actually makes a bunch more Corruptors rather than going for any Vipers. He has one out on the map.
They're +3 Corruptors, and this is the army that's going to win him the game if he gets that money abduct, and well, the money abducts plural. Just one abduct is going to win him the game, but if he times it with the Locust and comes forward like this, he can get a lot of damage done. He really wants this Mothership core, and the Mothership, sorry, and down it goes. So no more cloak here. Means that the Locust can now put some damage onto the Protoss structures. Not being cloaked anymore means he doesn't need the Overseers to put the damage on.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Alright, well, let's see if he's actually able to do much here. I mean, there are, how many Colossi out? 4 Colossi, so he's got the kind of money number of Colossi to deal with this sort of thing. Tempest obviously helping out a lot as well. And so begins the harass from herO once again, going, okay, you're all the way over here trying to kill my base. I'm going to kill some of yours while you're not here.
Yeah, and Snoop not doing about this. What his Colossus, what is he going to do? Float his Corruptors over there for a look at the Zealots, or?
Yeah, the base is pretty naked, but wow, he actually does get it. Very nice.
Yeah, I mean, without the Mothership, that's not cloaked anymore. That's the Locust is going to tear it apart. There's not a whole lot he can do about it as time goes on. There's only so much energy his Templar have, and they don't actually have enough energy to keep up with the Locust spawning. So
yeah, that's true.
He has to give up that position.
Yeah, so where does herO expand from here? He really needs either that base that he tried to take just now or the one on the left. Snute will have a little bit of an easier time holding either one of those.
Yeah.
With all his free units and the static defense.
He has this bank, and this bank is really, really good, don't get me wrong, but it's not incredible. Like, the last time he won a game, he had like a 13,000 mineral bank, so this is not anywhere near that. Losing a very high energy Templar there is just a small but important detail. It means every splash damage in this late part of the game.
Yeah, Mothership completing once again here, so we'll be able to cloak those units again, and that'll help him maybe gain a bit more position as his army won't be getting chewed up as badly. But wow, okay, he finally found another gap to attack through. At least Swarm has to pick it off.
I think that, yeah, the Locust will clean this up, but herO obviously knows that getting into the bank of Snute is how he's going to win this game. There's so much static defense in Swarmhost that if he attacks into it, he loses. So he needs to be so careful. Being patient, being methodical is how you win here, and these are the plays. So you just find an opening, you drop, and you take the Zealots, and you do damage on the hatcheries, you kill drones, you kill the income, you kill the production, and the pro's being pulled here for herO for some more supply. Yeah, once again, herO taking a little while to get his air upgrades. He got +1 a while back, but just at the 52-minute mark, having an air army for almost 30 minutes, he hasn't just getting +2 now.
Yeah, suddenly goes, oh yeah, I didn't get those. It does get to a point where you kind of forget.
Mothership, see you later.
Yeah, honestly, that unit shouldn't really be abductable, kind of like Broodlords.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
so expensive.
if it wasn't abductable, then Zergs would never win. I feel because it's such an important unit in this style. That's another right-clicked hatchery. These are +3 zealots. Bye bye hatchery. See you later. Transfuse is going down there for not.
I think Zergs just kind of had to posture around and see if they could snipe with corruptors, but there was also Neural, I guess. I just feel like such an expensive unit like a mothership. It feels like it's almost not worth getting it if it just gets like pulled and dies straight away.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the idea is to get Revelation on the Vipers and to not get pulled.
Yeah.
So you get that vision on the Vipers, you see what the Vipers are doing, and then you just sort of keep the mothership away from them while cloaking as much as possible, because it's so good defensive. When the Locusts are coming and knocking on your cannons, and they're coming and knocking on your Nexus, you really want that mothership there to keep them doing nothing. So.
Yeah, true. I guess there's feedbacks as well, if you are keeping tabs on where those Templar are. More zealots coming in now, heading towards the tech now. But these swarm hosts are hot on their heels, looking to spawn some more Locust buddies to help them out here. And the Protoss base that tries to get up on the right-hand side of the map, once again taken out. So both places kind of run out of places to attack into. I mean, expand.
But, you know, last time he killed a Hive didn't really change the game either, because we saw that the Vipers just didn't die. They didn't get into a situation where he could lose them. And immediately we got Snute remaking his lair. And no doubt Hive is next on the menu as well. He does still have his Infestation Pit.
Oh, man. He's going to have to remake so much tech. And this is just another thing that's kind of eating into his bank where he would otherwise not want to spend money on this.
Yeah. He has a Spire somewhere else, though. Yep. He has that 2 Spires in the main, but he has another Spire at another hatchery somewhere. So he has 3 Spires. Well, he's about to go down to 1, but he still has 1, is what I'm trying to say. He can still make Corruptors, but he's been maxed for a while. He's just trying to sort of...
Yeah. Wait, so is that it for Hives? Yeah,
that's it for Hives. Okay. Yeah.
Right, so he's got a lair. Yeah, he won't be able to make a Greater Spire. So if he did get a really nice engagement, took everything out, he'd have all this, this 30 Corruptor army or whatever in the sky that can't really do anything. As a result, it'd be up to the Swarm host to get into a good position and take something out. Yeah, let's see how it goes. I mean, here is just doing what he's done for the last, half an hour.
Are you going to, as soon as this game finishes, are you going to go onto the European ladder and start playing ZvP?
Not the European ladder. I don't think so. I'm not game for this kind of stuff.
You don't like playing 2 games every 2 hours?
No. I get a little bit bored.
Fair enough, can't blame me.
No, I am nowhere near good enough to make this work. I kind of make Swarm hosts and then I slowly die.
Yeah, the patience just baffles and amuses me. It really is impressive.
Yeah,
Master Core evaporates. The Templar, a lot of these Templar are dying to the Locusts. It's always a shame when those Templar come forward because they don't have they obviously don't have an attack. So when you attack move, the Templar get up to the front lines and get taken out by the Locusts. Bit of a shame.
Yeah, it's a little rough because you kind of want them close to the front as well so that you can get the feedbacks on the Vipers looking to pull your mothership. But what can you do? At least he has the money to replace it. It's actually starting to slowly eat into that gas bank.
There's some people talking about imbalance. This isn't actually imbalance. This is actually showing complete balance. Neither player can kill each other. So, I mean, if it was imbalance, one of them would be dead now.
It's a dance of death, that's for sure. I mean, one false move and you are screwed, but thus far, both players have really struggled to get a proper advantage. I mean, we saw herO looking really good.
Yeah, he's been looking good for a lot of the game, and then Snute's patience and his he's just waiting for herO. He doesn't do anything other than make hatcheries and remake tech. He doesn't do anything. He repositions his swarm host. He makes static defense. He just sits there, and this is actually making herO impatient, making him lose units. And Snute's just so good at this style that he's got him into a favorable position again.
Yeah, space, unfortunately, not long for this world. Neither player can really expand here, because if herO goes there, he's going to get hammered by 3 units. If Snute goes there, it doesn't take much for the Protoss army to head over and just get a few shots off to kill a hatchery, because that's so much damage output. So I think what they've got now, Unless by some miracle one of them is able to take a base, and I feel like if anyone is, it's going to be Snute with his static defense. But I feel like the money that they have now is kind of it.
Pretty much. I mean, there's a bit more on this base here for herO. Snoot's got a bit more on that hatchery that he's had to remake about 4 times.
Yeah.
Not mining gas from this hatchery. I mean, he's obviously not gas starved heaps at the moment. He's got a pretty fresh looking base there to the bottom left. So this isn't over yet.
No, it's not. It's actually probably far from over. We've just hit the 1 hour mark. Whew. Thanks for sticking with us, guys. It's been a long haul so far.
Yeah, we promised you that it would be a long series.
Yeah. Yeah, in fact, the first 2 games were pretty quick. It's only been this game that's been pretty long.
This one's making up for it. This is more the Snute than I'm used to seeing.
Yeah.
It's just, I keep repeating myself, but it's really impressive, this patience. Just that he can just sit here and have this big scary Protoss army and just deal with it.
Yeah, a reminder also, guys, that this is game 3, so whoever's going to lose this is going to be really frustrated playing an over-hour-long game and then having to lose at this point.
Oh, yeah.
This much on the line.
If I'm playing a game of StarCraft and it's been an hour long, if I don't win it, I am so mad.
I'm done. I am done for the week. Just, yeah, don't want to know about the game.
The static defense is taking heavy damage now. Is this the opening that herO needs?
Yeah. I like how herO does this, though. He just suddenly decides, here's where I'm going to drill a hole in this defense. And then I'm just going to back up again. And then he's going to go somewhere else and do it again later. But it's not frequent enough that he's losing a ton of units as a result of it. And in fact, I think there's actually enough Colossi that not even the Archons are dying. Only the odd Templar gets hit.
herO really pushing into the static defense, but he's getting to the scary, meaty, gooey center of the Zerg. And that is, once he gets through that crunchy exterior, the gooey center is all of those Corruptors that are going to decimate his air army. Oh, getting a bit fresh for those Corruptors and taking a bit of storm damage here. Really doesn't want to lose those. I mean, obviously, splash damage on those Corruptors is what herO is looking for and what Snute is looking to avoid. But he is replenishing with 12 more Corruptors after losing all that static defense supply.
Yeah, there aren't actually that many storms left. So if you can maybe be a bit more ballsy with his Corruptors, try and bait out the storms, and suddenly there's not actually going to be all that much left apart from the Archons that can hit these Corruptors, and he might be able to get some damage done to this Protoss army. But you know, that is easier said than done. He did just get a bunch more Templar in there.
Here come the Corruptors with the big attack. The storm's going down all over the Corruptors. Oh my god, they are taking a lot of damage here. But they really wanted to get some of those expensive unit snipes. The Templar energy is all but expelled. There's not much left at all.
No, and those Corruptors with a few transfuses and a bit of time to heal, they can come right back in for round 2. We'll still need to be careful because there are a fair few Archons on the ground still. In fact, it's actually only 3, but that splash does count for a lot.
It sure does. Pathogen glands on the way here. Snute gonna switch over to some infestors. It's a good decision because of how much gas bank he has.
Yeah. I don't know. Infestors are good units. But how do you get close enough with them? That's my question.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the issue with this game. He's trying to get close with these Vipers. He's trying to get close with these Corruptors, and that's what he's trying to do this whole time, is he wants to get close. I mean, the Fungals are going to stop the Templar movements. They'll negate Cloak. It's not a terrible decision.
Yeah. No. Oh, man. herO actually really needs a base. His gas is...
Yeah, he's long-distance mining on creep here. Archon's going down to some Locust here. Templars desperately need to stay alive. Their energy is so important. All the splash damage you can master at this point is so important against these Locusts. Another Mothership core, Mothership on the way. I keep calling it Mothership core, but I just don't see the Mothership that often, guys. I'm derping a little bit, as I'm sure you're aware, all you Twitch chat GMs.
Oh, you know what, Maynard? It's actually starting to look really scary for herO again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe he wants to start doing
a favorable position here. This is actually favorable for Snute.
He might want to start trying to throw some of those minerals into more Zealot Rombis or something, because this gas army, if this dies, I mean, even if a bit of it dies, he's not going to be able to replace it. He's actually not mining gas anymore. He's got 500 gas in the bank, so even if he gets that last base up, that's not going to be enough gas to fund his army, so this is pretty much what he has to win with.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Hero has to get this done. But he only has he has 9,000 minerals, but he only has 500 gas. And gas is how he remakes his Colossus, his Archons, and his Tempest. Speaking of Archons, he just lost 2 at the front there. Oh, and the Colossus as well.
Oh,
there's Locust. That Locust round killed a Colossus and 2 Archons. That's actually so much minerals and sorry, so much gas. So it's devastating for Hero to lose that much.
Well,
he can
at least
pretty much only make like a couple more Tempests or a couple more Colossus and then just Zealots, and that's not going to help him against Locust.
If we look on the bright side, it did free up some supply for him to actually warp in those Zealots, and they're going to start trying to do some work wherever they can. With the Mothership out, thankfully he can actually shield most of his units from those Locusts, but that doesn't last very long as it does get pulled by Snute.
That's probably the last Mothership we'll see.
Yeah, probably. It's just way too expensive to make another one. And here he is in the thick of Zerg territory. The supply is falling.
This might be it here. The Corruptors are closing the distance. The Mothership's dead. The Tempests are going down. The Colossus are going down. The Corruptors are ruling the sky, taking the Tempest away from Hero here, pushing him off the creep. Get off my land, says Snute as he pushes Hero back. And that's just it.
That is a killing blow. That is absolutely it. Right. There is nothing Hero can do, and he knows it. He's trying his best with these Zealots, and he's done a fantastic job with them throughout this entire game. Still trying to take that extra base. Cannot blame him because he's fought this so well and for so long too. But at the end of the day, he has no money. He can only make Zealots. There's still a massive Zerg army with 20 Swarm Hosts and a bunch of Corruptors. He's run out of options here.
That's it. Snute, the Norwegian Zerg. He's done it. He's 100 supply up. The Swarm Host style, this patient Turtle Zerg style that I just cannot even fathom being able to play. So good at this. He's deserved this win. This Stalkers, and he's got 2,800 minerals. He's gonna make Lings. These Stalkers ain't nothing to a boss. These Stalkers are dead. The foreign Zerg is going to go to the round of 16.
I can't believe it. Wow, this is just so impressive. Oh, very nice blink escapes with those Stalkers. I have to admire how much Hero is doing with these Zealots and Stalkers that he has left. I mean, he can keep warping in Zealots all day. He is actually going to get that extra base up by the looks of it. I mean, this is not a priority for Snute to kill right now.
Yeah. I mean, he's going to start getting gas income again after not having it for about 10 minutes. But, I mean, a reposition of this incredible Swarm Host army, and all of a sudden Hero is going to be in dire straits. I mean, he already is in dire straits as we're looking at it mathematically, and you know, just looking at what he's got versus what Snute's got. This is not really something I mean, look what Hero's making right now: Zealots and Stalkers.
Yeah, gateway units.
What are Zealots and Stalkers going to do? They're going to get into some defense, have charge. Yes, great. But then there's like.
Yeah, if Hero somehow wins this, he will actually be God. That's just...
he will have found some hack to break the game and win, yeah.
Yeah, I will be actually so shocked. I mean, he's fought a good fight, but at this point, I mean, there's no reason for him to just GG out at this point. You've played this long, you may as well just kind of...
Yeah. If I'm in a game for an hour and 11 minutes, I'm going to be fighting until I'm 9 supply. Like,
supply, very specific.
I'm not going to go. I wouldn't go full ladder Terran and float my stuff out into the corner, but I hate those people, by the way.
Oh, he's actually going to get a couple of Swarm Hosts.
Yeah, this is nice, but I mean, there are 24 where they came from, so.
Oh, there we go. Does get an extra Swarm Host.
That's where they came from. No big deal, Zeph. These 3 Colossus came out of nowhere. There they are. They are. So the
where were they? They must have hidden away.
That's okay. The Corruptors deal with those. Look at the production tab for Hero here. It'll be just Zealots.
Yeah, he's actually cleaning up a ton of Lings, and Snute doesn't have that much mineral bank left. He's got a lot of Corruptors. This is where it would have been nice for him to still have the Greatest Spy, because now he's got 23 Corruptors that he can't do anything with. So he is getting the Hive.
The Vipers, like a lot of the Vipers, have died here. Bit of a shame.
Ouch. Yeah.
Still alive.
He doesn't want to get too reckless with his army.
Nope. Now the Super Mobile Gateway Force, the Zealots and Stalkers, something that you wouldn't expect to do too well against like 20 odd Swarm Hosts and you know, a whole bunch of static defense. are actually doing what they can. This goes to show that how, I mean, this whole game has been a huge display of how amazingly skilled both these players are. Snute, incredible at style. herO, just a solid Protoss all around against a style he's not really comfortable with. Yeah. Both players just really showing us that their caliber. It goes to show what the rest of IEM is going to look like in Toronto as well.
If he gets that base, there's actually no mining left for Snute. And he's going to have to long distance for another hatchery. Is this real life? Is herO... He can't win, can he? Surely not.
I didn't think it was possible, not with this many swarm hosts, but...
Well, Snute didn't have as much mining as we thought, and now herO is the only one with a proper mining base. And he's going to have money. He's got all these gateway units going everywhere. Sure, there's still swarm hosts. There's still a lot of corruptors.
Avoiding the
hive is finished, but...
How...
He can't...
No.
Guys, Hans can't win, right?
No.
Well, actually, okay, let's have a think about this. Let's see, if the swarms weren't such a factor, I'd be like, yeah, I mean, he can do this.
He keeps killing observers, and swarm host can't be detected, but he is... Oh, okay. There is still... Okay, another observer goes down. Neither player really producing anything.
Yeah, he's just trying to run circles around him. It's pretty
actually... I find this really hard to cast now.
I was kind of like, wait, this isn't how you're supposed to StarCraft? Surely this isn't how it works.
A big locust spawn here, with a lot of the corruptors still alive. Corruptors, of course, not heaps useful anymore, other than having a corruption, which is really not that good of a spell.
Yeah, that's actually it for observers again. So these swarm hosts have free reign. Don't lose the hatchery. He's going to have to cancel that so fast if it starts taking a beating. But okay, it looks like he's going to be able to secure this again. He could peel off a couple of swarm hosts and try and start harassing the
starting to stabilize a little bit, I feel.
Yeah.
Observers coming out now for herO. Again, once again, he has a huge mineral bank. We did see that surprisingly charge lots are still very effective in, if they stay away from this locust, which somehow he manages to do. And Snute's bank is non-existent, really. So he is still up 60 odd supply, but a lot of that is corruptors.
Yeah, he just needs to get enough to whereby he can actually move out across the map and protect this base at the same time, so herO can't just run around him and kill it. And then he can actually go kill that base of heroes, then he's got nothing, and he could probably take that base himself just to drive the point home. But it's not an easy road to get there, because herO is taking out absolutely everything that he can possibly.
Yeah, I mean, income was asked in chat. I'm not sure if it's up on stream, but it's 800, 200 gas for herO, 0 for Snute. Snute's just remade a hatchery there to mine from.
Yeah, he only has 11 drones though, so that's not going to be a huge amount of income either. In fact, he's droning. Which, I mean, he kind of actually does need to do, because everything else got made into static defense. Probe-wise, there's 30 probes out on the map. And he does have a few scraps of minerals in the right-hand side base, near the airspace, so...
Yeah.
He's juicing this map for all it's worth, that's for sure.
Yeah, this is probably going to be a mined out map, pretty surely. My god, this game.
I can't believe how much he's done with these stalkers and the zealots were alive before. Oh man, gotta be careful. So, yeah. I mean, I'm wondering, what is herO's plan from here? Sure, he's doing great jobs with his harass.
Stalkers, yeah, but I mean, to win the game, he has to kill all of Snute's structures.
Yeah.
And every stalker he loses is pretty... I mean, he's got a lot of minerals still. He can remake stalkers, but that's not what he wants. He wants the big money units. And this is smart from Snute, using his gas to make infestors. Infestors will shut this down.
I feel like there's just nothing that herO can actually make. I mean, if he makes anything in the air,
I still believe this game is over. Like, it looked pretty, like, everything that the Observer was flipping to was herO doing damage. And yes, he was doing damage. He is an amazing Protoss player. His skill is out of this world, breaking through the skill ceiling. But this is still Snute's game, I feel. There is not many options here for... Like, if you think about the win condition, yes, Protoss killing things is nice and all, but to win, you need to kill all the structures, and I don't see this happening.
Yeah, I think also... it almost feels like hero's just trying to get all the money that he can possibly get, and then go, okay, what do I want to do with this? Like, what can I possibly do? Anything in the air is gonna die. Any Colossi are gonna die.
There's that fungal, and there's those Locusts going to town. Great decision to make this versus gas bank. Yep, there we go.
Surely it has to be. Very nicely done from Snute.
Yep. And hero's just about mined out the top half of the map. So Snute just sits there with his free units and with the infestors, and hero has no more options.
Snute. I guess Snute doesn't actually know how little hero has, i.e. 1 Stalker, 26 Zealots, because he could probably march half his Swarm hosts over there right now and just kill it.
Yeah. I mean, hero is really, really good with the harassment and that sort of thing, so he's probably afraid of losing hatcheries, but...
Yeah, true.
It looks like he's got an infested hit squad here to try and do some infested turn business.
Okay. Yeah, that's a safe way of doing it. He's making a few more queens now and everything. Yeah, he's got this in the bag, guys. Almost an hour and a half into this game. Looks like hero is finally going to die. This is the slowest death I've seen ever.
We're watching a 20-minute death animation here for hero, unfortunately. And as I am a huge fan of this guy, so it hurts for me as a fan of hero, and I'm sure it hurts for a lot of other guys, but there's nothing that hero can do at this point.
I can't believe he made it look close again, though. With all those gateway units running around. If he had won that, I would have actually probably quit StarCraft.
This is okay. So this is hero's last attack here. He's got a bajillion zealots and 4 archons, and he's going to come in here and hopefully push while the infestors don't have energy.
Well, those would dice up the locust pretty quickly. I actually think this is probably the best thing he could have done.
Yeah.
And the infestors aren't here to help out, so he does actually have to back out. The
infestors do need to come home, but you know, just pulls back. He's in Locust Town now. Here they're the infestors, saving his fungals for the big cluster. And where are the fungals? Oh, he doesn't actually have enough energy for fungals, so.
Oh man, so many of those swarmers are getting stuck and getting taken out here.
It doesn't really matter. The locusts are still decimating these zealot counts. And there are now 4 zealots and 4 archons left for hero, and GG.
Yeah, that's gonna be it. All right,
well
GG.
Played. There we go. Snute taking the series 2-1.